Dickinson College is on the unceded lands of the Susquehannock Nation. We acknowledge the many indigenous peoples that lived with these lands, as well as the thousands of indigenous children forced into the Carlisle Indian Industrial School in 1879 as part of a federal cultural eradication effort.
Good afternoon. Hello, class of 2028. Hello to our newly arriving transfer students. You are finally here on this campus, in these seats, in front of this building, about to walk up those stairs and change this place simply by adding your name to its books. This is truly a proud and joyful moment for the entire Dickinson community. For the past year or so, maybe less or more, my colleagues in admissions, financial aid, and our coaches have had the privilege of being your point of contact with this place. We've gotten to share Dickinson with you, introduce you to its people, help you discover opportunities that await you here, and identify along with you the many ways that Dickinson is a place that is so well matched with you. Every single one of you belongs. We've had the even greater privilege of getting to know you. When you submitted your application, you entrusted us with your story. Look at the people who sit around you here today. I want you to know that each story is one that we came to know and celebrate. Our collective wish for you is that you recognize the incredible opportunity to know these people, to learn from them, to teach them something they didn't know before, to grow with them, to cheer them on, to challenge them, to lift them up and lean on them, to always value their contribution, to become a part of their story, and to allow them to become a part of yours. You, our newest students, are in this together. And let me say that together, you are truly spectacular. You were selected from the largest and most academically competitive applicant pool in the school's history. You come to us from over 400 different high schools, 36 states and 21 countries. You are so many things. You're community activists, varsity athletes, student senators, artists, musicians, great thinkers and doers. You take care of younger siblings and older grandparents. You speak up, you show up, you give of yourself to others. You seek to find your place in the world, and each of you has landed here. Each one of you is a Dickinsonian. In the days, weeks, months ahead, you'll come to understand what that means to be a Dickinsonian. And discovering that, maybe you will realize why it was so important to us that you be part of this place. We got to know you. We reviewed your applications, and we learned and loved your unique story. We marveled at your drive and determination. We were moved in the moments where you fell and picked yourself back up. We were inspired by your leadership and humbled by the care that you demonstrated for others. And we felt enormous pride when you chose a place that reflects all of that, a place that aligns with your why. And now, somewhat begrudgingly, it's time for us to hand you off to the place that we love so much. We can't wait for Dickinson to discover what we already know, that this class is remarkable. It is marked by diverse backgrounds, notable talents, and fresh perspectives that will enrich the fabric of this place in ways that will resonate for years to come. President Jones, Dickinson community members, on behalf of my colleagues in enrollment and athletics, it is my pride and privilege to present to you the class of 2028 and all new Dickinson students.
Good afternoon. My name is Kate Mellon. I am the Executive Director of the United Way of Carlisle and Cumberland County. I am also an elected member of the Carlisle Borough Council, a native Carlilian, and a proud Dickinsonian. On behalf of the mayor, my fellow borough council members, and the entire community, I am here today to welcome you to Carlisle. We are so happy that you have chosen to make your home here for the next 4 years. We know that you are coming from all over the country and indeed from all over the world, and we hope that you will make the most of your time here and that you enjoy your stay with us. I myself came to Dickinson as a first-year student from about 5 blocks away in the house where I grew up with my siblings, both of whom are also Dickinsonians. While I, like all my classmates, was excited for the opportunities that were available to me on campus, I was also equally enthusiastic to share with my fellow students all of the wonderful things about my hometown, the food, the history, the opportunities for outdoor recreation, and so much more. While statistically speaking, most of you are not going to have a Carlisle native residing with you in your dormitory to show you around, you do not need a personal tour guide in order to venture out beyond these walls and to discover all that this community has to offer you. I should mention, I don't think you're allowed to call yourself a Dickinsonian if you don't try at least once a hotchie dog from the Hamilton restaurant down the street. Bonus, if you are served by Tommy, the owner, who has been serving students and townsfolk alike since before President Jones first stepped foot on campus as a young student. If hot dogs aren't your thing, there are a great variety of other family-owned restaurants and small retail shops, not just in downtown Carlisle, but also further afield. They are as eager to welcome you as I am, and I hope that you will take the time to visit them. I want to also encourage you, though, to engage with the community on a deeper level. There are many opportunities to do so here on campus. Each year on Borough Council, I get the opportunity to work with a student who serves as the Dickinson Student Ambassador to the Carlisle Borough Council. And at the United Way, I've had the pleasure of working with a number of community engagement fellows, an internship program from here on campus. You can also reach out directly to a nonprofit organization and offer to volunteer wherever your interests might lie. helping at Project Share, our community food bank, answering phone calls for the Rape Crisis Hotline at the YWCA, mentoring through Big Brothers Big Sisters, or repairing bicycles at the Carlisle Tool Library. These are just a sample of the opportunities available to you to help you forge a deeper connection with this community and to make your time here that much more meaningful. Congratulations on this next big step in your lives. I hope you all enjoy your time here, and again, on behalf of the mayor and the rest of Borough Council, I want you to know that as members of the Carlisle community, our doors are always open to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have had the chance to welcome the class of 2028 several times now, but this one makes it official. Welcome, Dickinsonians. Welcome, class of 2028. We are so glad that you are here. We are so proud of the work that you have done to get here, and we are eager to share with you the magic, and it really is magic, the magic of a liberal arts education. Over the next 4 years, you are going to encounter thinkers you have never heard of, music you've never listened to, art forms and mathematical equations, chemical bonds and international languages that you've not yet studied nor produced. Over the next 4 years, you will learn how to be productively uncomfortable, how to write impassioned prose, how to think ethically and logically, and how to be in community with each other. We have an entire college ready to welcome you, a faculty of more than 200, hundreds of more staff members, and they are just as excited as I am, to begin this academic year. In addition to welcoming you, we are also welcoming new faculty and new staff. Our 26 new faculty come to us from literally every corner of the world. They engage in research and teaching across our disciplines, and they are committed to being part of a liberal arts education. I got to meet many of them while they interviewed, and they all impressed upon me their desire to contribute to your growth and development. Our new staff members, there are more than 25, and members of our college leadership teams also contribute to all areas of Dickinson College, from athletics to facilities. They include members of our academic affairs team, members of our student affairs office, and beyond. I would like to ask our new faculty, our new staff, and our new administrators to stand and be welcomed to the college. We also have a dozen or so faculty who have already dedicated a significant portion of their careers to the college, but who are here today in new roles as newly tenured, newly promoted members of our faculty. We welcome them today into these new roles and titles, to these new responsibilities as colleagues. I'd like to ask those who were recently promoted to associate, recently promoted to full, recently promoted to senior lecturer to stand if you're here and be congratulated. We have a couple of members of the faculty on the podium today, and one in particular is going to deserve our look for a moment. Tiffany, you can stand up. Tiffany Fry, Associate Professor of Biology, has been awarded the Constance and Rose Ganot Memorial Award for Inspirational Teaching. This award was established in 1969 in accordance with the testimonial wishes of the late William A. Ganot of the class of 1902. Every year, during a final faculty meeting of the spring, we award this prize to that professor of Dickinson College who, by secret ballot of the members of the senior class immediately prior to their graduation, shall have been voted the most inspirational teacher during their college courses. Congratulations, Professor. We also have many distinguished students, and in your program, you can read some of their names and areas of distinction. 2 of them are recognized on the podium today. Here at Dickinson College, we have a tradition of presenting awards to a junior and a senior who we name as sophisters of their classes. They are scholars and thinkers of the highest order. Our junior sophister is the person in their class with the highest cumulative GPA earned in their first 2 years. Kwong. Come forward. Kwong Hoi Fung is our junior sophister this year. Shake your hand. As Kwong's first-year seminar faculty member, Professor of Physics Hans Pfister told me, Kwong achieved a 98.5 in the class. But, as Hans put it, that's just a number. What makes Kwong stand out is best expressed by the letters that he wrote as part of a class assignment to Carlisle's Mayor Schultz and Carlisle Borough City Council members, where he advocated that the borough adopt a public e-scooter and e-bike share program, describing in detail his vision for such a program, from the phone app to assist with locating and renting the transportation to return policies. Detail-oriented, sustainability-minded, Kwong even presented calculations illustrating how much such a program could reduce Carlisle's carbon footprint. Kwong is a double major in computer science and mathematics. His advisor, Professor Farhan Siddiqui, notes, "My observation about Kwong is that he is very focused and hardworking. He pays close attention to every detail and is highly motivated to excel at every academic task. Additionally, he is amicable. He likes to build a strong rapport with his peers and his mentors." Congratulations, Kwong, on the honor of being named Junior Sophister. Our senior sophister is the person in their class with the highest cumulative GPA earned in their first 3 years at college. Margaret, of course she's over here, Margaret Casano, Maggie, is the senior sophister for the class of 2025. Maggie is a major in political science and is working with minors in women's gender and sexuality studies and Spanish. Maggie's advisor, Professor Katie Marchetti, recalls that in the fall of 2022, she took gender, politics, and policy with her, and that she was an outstanding student, whose writing stood out as exceptional even though it was only her 3rd semester at Dickinson. Professor Marchetti continued, Maggie was a regular and thoughtful contributor to class discussions and demonstrated commitment to and interest in the course. Professor Katie Oliviero from Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies says that Maggie is an ambitious, curious student, intent on making the most of her Dickinson experience, carefully scaffolding the requirements for her multiple areas of study so that she could be abroad for a full year across all the hemispheres, studying abroad in Chile and England. Professor Oliviero tells me that Maggie is exceptionally detail-oriented and forward-thinking, not only in her scholarly work, but in her role as a student on the All-College Committee on Equity, Inclusivity, and Belonging. Finally, Professor Tony Underwood, who was Maggie's FYS instructor 3 falls ago, remembers that not only did she earn the highest grade in the class, more importantly, he says, she understood the assignment when it came to writing analytically. For nearly every essay, she would schedule a meeting with me to discuss her rough draft, which wasn't a requirement, and it would already be a nearly perfect, polished final. She could explain her reasoning even when I challenged it, and this was reflected in the effective use of evidence in her writing. Maggie, congratulations on the honor of being named Senior Sophister. Class of 2028. As we congratulate these outstanding students on their accomplishments, I want you to reflect on one thing in particular. I just read you the comments of these folks' first-year seminar faculty. Faculty who may not be in the major that Maggie or Kwong ended up in, faculty who may not have had them in class for several years now. These students made their mark from day one by being detail-oriented, focused, creative, and committed. You all started FYS already last week, like on Thursday. You get to meet again tomorrow or maybe on Tuesday, and you have the opportunity to begin to impress your faculty. You have the opportunity to begin to make your mark, to begin to establish a record of accomplishment and academic achievement, whether it brings you to this stage 4 years from now. It will certainly live in you and beyond you for a lifetime. I cannot wait to see the good that you do in and for this place.
Hello, everyone. Back in 1776, during the turbulence of the American Revolution, a group of college students banded together to form a secret society. The purpose of that society was to bring together individuals who were dedicated to a high level of intellectual debate and academic excellence. They called this student-centered secret society Phi Beta Kappa. Since its founding nearly 250 years ago, Phi Beta Kappa has been one of the most prestigious and selective of the intellectual honor societies in the United States and celebrates inclusive excellence in the liberal arts and sciences. Nationwide, membership is granted to only 1% of college graduates and is considered by many to be the highest level or highest honor that could be granted to an undergraduate. There are just 300 chapters at colleges and universities across the United States. Dickinson's chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, the Alpha of Pennsylvania, celebrates its 137th anniversary this year. This past week, our chapter gathered together to elect 20 rising seniors to membership. These students are all pursuing very rigorous courses of study and have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement and good moral character. They rank in just over the top 3% of their graduating class and represent a total of 31 different majors from across all 3 academic divisions. 7 of our elected members spent their junior year in Carlisle, while 13 of these inductees literally were all over the world. They have deepened their focus by engaging in civic engagement, research, internships, and extracurricular involvement, in addition to being outstanding scholars. To our newest elected members, before I ask you, as members of the class of 2025, to stand and be recognized, I want you to feel support from the Phi Beta Kappa community, at least those who are here at this moment. You're joined by faculty, staff, and even community members across the college who share this honor and are especially vested in your continued success. Will any resident members of our chapter, as well as any Phi Beta Kappa members who are in the audience, please stand as we prepare to recognize our newly inducted members? And now, yes, please, thank you. I know some of y'all are there. Okay. And now may I ask any of our newly inducted members to please stand so that you may be recognized. Members of the class of 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028, I encourage you to look to these scholars as academic mentors. This is an honor, and again, we welcome you to our membership. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce the recipients of the 2024 George and Mary Louise Schumann Award. This award is presented each year to 2 sophomore students who have demonstrated superior academic performance and have made outstanding contributions to the co-curricular and extracurricular life of the college and local community. First, I'd like to ask Sarah Rusick to come up. Sarah is a double major in English and history from Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania. She participates in Belles Lettres Literary Society and is also a member of the Outdoors Club. She is a social media manager for the Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society, and her work has also been published in the Dickinson Review. This past summer, she took part in the college's summer immersion program in Malaga, Spain. Sarah is a dining hall employee and is also looking forward to working with the Clark Forum as a student project manager this year. Sarah, congratulations. Next, I'd like to ask Jimena Marquez to come up. Jimena grew up in Winchester, Virginia. Upon arriving at Dickinson, she was struck by the warm community and the challenging academic environment. Today, she is proud to hold leadership positions such as President of the Latin American and Caribbean Club, Vice President of the Social Engagement of the Raza Unida Project, media director of the Spanish Club, and serves as a Spanish language education intern at the Trout Gallery. Jimena plans to pursue a double major in American Studies and Latin American and Caribbean Studies with a minor in Spanish. After college, she hopes to work on Capitol Hill addressing issues affecting Hispanic Americans. Over the next 3 years, she hopes to continue her involvement within the Dickinson community and further develop her skills and knowledge in her areas of interest. Congratulations.
The Howard Lane Rubendahl Senior Scholarship was established in 1972 by members of Omicron Delta Kappa, a National Leadership Honor Society, and Wheel and Chain, a senior women's honorary organization at Dickinson. You'll recognize, of course, these women as they wear the blue hats here today. The scholarship is in honor of President Howard Lane Rubendahl, class of 1931. And it is the most prestigious honor that I am privileged to present each year. It is awarded to a rising senior who has displayed the highest combined level of leadership, scholarship, and service at Dickinson. This year's recipient is Benjamin Warren, class of 25. Ben, please come forward. Ben came to Dickinson from Wynwood, Pennsylvania, just west of Philadelphia, as you know. He's a history and data analytics double major. He has served as president of the Ornithology Club, has held multiple positions at the Dickinsonian. I might tell you that he's a pretty enterprising and excellent reporter. He's covered this president and the administration, and he's done it well. He's a safety officer for club baseball. He's a member of Alpha Lambda Delta. He's been involved with the Dickens Cinema Film Club and the Math and Computer Science Club. He was also the recipient of the 2024 John Patton Memorial Prize. Please, everyone, join me in congratulating Ben on this much-deserved award. It is now my privilege to invite Andrew Garcia of the class of 2026 to the podium to offer greetings from the Student Senate. Andrew.
Hey, class of 2028. I've been with you all for this whole orientation week as one of the orientation directors, and I wanted to start off by you all giving a round of applause to yourselves and also the amazing orientation team, all your orientation leaders who are in the back. Please just appreciate them for this amazing week. Thank you. You guys made it. I know it was very fun, whether it was Target Takeover or other things. I bet you guys had a lot of fun. But I'm here to offer final words. Your time here at Dickinson will be an adventure full of change. You'll make new friendships that will last for the rest of your life, and you'll meet professors that will change your view on life. But most importantly, you're going to discover who you are now and who you want to be later in life. It's very important that you recognize your time here at Dickinson will not be perfect. There will be many challenges throughout your journey, and not every day will be one you look upon fondly. Along the way, you need to accept that failure is a natural part of your own individual growth. Mistakes are inevitable. I've made plenty of mistakes. Everyone on this stage has made a lot of mistakes probably, and all of you will make mistakes. Mistakes are rough in the moment, but they are invaluable learning experiences. Please do not run from them. Instead, use the many resources and people around you at Dickinson to approach your mistakes with a willingness to learn. Dickinson College is an extraordinary place, and I'm not just talking about this great town of Carlisle, although it is pretty great. What makes Dickinson truly special are the people that make up this college. A great college is made up of even greater people, and I promise you, the people at Dickinson are a truly exceptional group. From our wonderful staff to the knowledgeable faculty, and especially us, the students, there is no shortage of extraordinary people at Dickinson. Always remember that you're not alone during your time at Dickinson. When you make a mistake, you'll find support from all those around you. Whether it's a professor offering academic guidance, a teammate helping you up on the field, or another student just passing by, Dickinsonians naturally support one another, and that's a truly unique characteristic of our community. Life at Dickinson will be demanding, and there will be no doubt be times that you will feel overwhelmed and lost. During those moments, look to those around you for guidance. Everyone is here for a reason, and embracing those around you can help lift a heavy weight off your shoulders. Dickinson will change your life. Through the people you meet and the lessons you take beyond the limestone walls, you will shape your future here in ways you might not fully understand. But please, cherish every moment and value every person. Each one of you will have a unique experience here at Dickinson, and I know it will be worth it. It's been an honor to be with you throughout this orientation process, and I'm genuinely excited for what each of you will begin, for each of you as you begin this new chapter. Congratulations, class of 2028, on reaching this amazing milestone. You are now a part of the Dickinson legacy, and I have no doubt that you will make the most of your time here. Thank you, and welcome.
Well, good afternoon, good late afternoon to all. And Andrew, thank you for those terrific remarks. And Andrew, thank you for your service with PRIO and orientation, and your assistant or your co-chair of orientation, Olivia. Stand up. Everybody should give them a hand. They were terrific. And thank you for all the volunteers who are here, as Andrew said as well. And by the way, about that Target takeover, I want to tell you that the First Lady, Beth, who's seated over there, was at Target, which is one of her happy places, and she was visiting, and she was in one of the aisles, and she heard a bunch of clerks, and they were talking about Dickinson students, and she realized that they had worked during the Target takeover. And she was talking about what great students you are and how impressed they were with you. So she had to go over and introduce herself, of course. I don't know if it had been the other way around, whether she would have introduced herself, but it was remarkable and terrific. You were off to a good start. If you can make it at Target, you can make it anywhere. So congratulations on impressing them at Target before you even got your classes started. We welcome you. This is the 242nd year of Dickinson College. Each year, we come together as a campus community to celebrate the start of yet another academic year. With this wonderful Convocation Ceremony, it is a time for each of us to reset and to begin anew. To our new students, each of you is truly beginning anew. This is a monumental day in your lives. You are beginning your undergraduate journey and becoming lifelong Dickinsonians. And as I look out at all of you, I am certain that you feel a wide range of emotions today: excitement, nervousness, and eagerness to move beyond orientation and start your classes tomorrow. And, of course, as I recommend every year, make sure you get a little bit of sleep. Classes are about to start. I know your first days on campus have been jam-packed. A lot of the new information that has been shared with you is mind-numbing. You've been introduced to new people, new places and spaces, new freedoms, new responsibilities for yourselves and others. It's a lot to take in, and you should take the time to let it sink in. Relax and enjoy this time. As I've mentioned in previous convocation ceremonies, I still remember my first days at Dickinson as a student. In fact, I vividly remember moving into my first-year dorm, which was Morgan. It seemed like it was 100 degrees, humidity beyond belief, and I was moving onto the third floor of that dormitory. Morgan, of course, at that time had no air conditioning. We did not have student helpers to move our worldly belongings into our dorm room, but I'll tell you what, the memories of that special time endure, and I am here to tell you that yours will as well. At the end of this ceremony today, incoming students, all of you, the class of 2028, will participate in one of Dickinson's most revered traditions when you ascend these old stone steps of Memorial Hall and sign in to our college. 4 years from now, members of the class of 2028 will reverse this symbolic action and descend these same steps to receive your diplomas. And you'll follow, in doing so, thousands of Dickinsonians who've walked in and then out of the doors behind me. As you know, Dickinson was founded in 1783, just days after the Treaty of Paris concluded the American Revolution. Right here was our founding. We were founded on the principle that if a democracy was to survive and flourish, it needed an enlightened, engaged, and committed citizenry. And Dickinson College was to be the institution that would produce those engaged citizens who would go on to be the backbone of our burgeoning democracy. You are now among those who will carry this legacy. In the next few years, you will have the great opportunity to continue to pursue your current passions and explore new areas of knowledge and interest. Your years at Dickinson will be a time of discovery. You are already making new friendships. Some of them will last for the rest of your lives. You will grow intellectually and be exposed to disciplines that will unlock your intellectual curiosity. Many of you will have life-changing semesters abroad, develop meaningful relationships with members of our faculty and staff, and discover new interests and passions in and out of the classroom. One of the cardinal errors that well-meaning but uninitiated folks commit will be, and has been, I'm sure this has happened to you, to ask you, what is your major going to be at Dickinson College? Members of the class of 2028, it is perfectly okay, and I would recommend that you say that you don't know yet. In fact, it is entirely possible that your mind will change several times over. This is a good thing and nothing to worry about. Be deliberate. Take it all in. Don't rush. Explore different disciplines. See what evokes your interest and your passion, and then go for it. Take the time to make considered choices. In my remarks to recent incoming classes, I have talked about how in our society, we all too often become polarized, intolerant, rude, and unaccepting of our fellow citizens' views, so far as they differ from our own. Engaging in productive dialogues and listening carefully has been a guiding tenet of my career as a lawyer, a federal judge, a member of a Pennsylvania governor's administration, and more recently, in this post. You are coming of age at a time that is rife with tumult. I don't have to connect those dots for you. There's global unrest, wars in several regions of the world, and here in the U.S., we are navigating many contentious social justice issues, extremely polarized discourse, and the most highly divisive election season in our lifetime. But as Dickinsonians, we can work towards positive change in this world, starting right here on this campus. There will most certainly be times that we will disagree. We will face discomfort, and our differences may initially seem insurmountable. But I challenge each of us, myself included, to listen to each other, to open up our minds to differing viewpoints, to ask questions, and be willing to entertain the thought of changing our opinions based on what we learn. Those who have been around me for a while know that I love to read the news. I consume it every day. I recommend it to others, as well as painful as that can be some days. Since my days at Dickinson, I've made a point to get my news from a variety of sources: New York Times, Wall Street Journal, various networks, voices from the left, the right, the center, in an effort to hear differing viewpoints so that I don't get locked into my own echo chamber. Recently, I read an opinion piece by Bret Stephens in the New York Times that I thought was especially prescient. In Mr. Stephens' piece, he wrote a hypothetical letter from a university president to his campus community at the start of the academic year regarding last year's unrest on campuses across the country and how that fictitious president hopes that the campus can move forward. In it, he proffers that at its very essence, a university or college campus is meant to be a community of learners guided by the spirit of inquiry. Mr. Stephens in the guise of that fictional president, writes this: "What is the spirit of inquiry? At its root, it is the virtue of curiosity, along with the many habits of mind that spring from being curious. It is a spirit that believes in insistent questioning, even at the risk of irritating those who claim to have the answers. It is a spirit that delights in conversation, which is the exchange of thoughts, not a contest of wills. It is a spirit that is aware of its own ignorance, an ignorance that only grows the more we learn. It is a spirit that cultivates the art of listening patiently and intently, of processing an idea, a fact, or an argument before we respond to it. It is the spirit of second-guessing ourselves and re-examining settled convictions, including those of the ideological, religious, or cultural communities to which we belong." Mr. Stevens' words struck me as precisely on target. There is a desperate need today on campuses, in communities, and in our democratic society at large for educated people who can listen with an empathetic and ethical mindset to perspectives other than their own and to ultimately achieve mutual understanding. This, members of the class of 2028, is what a liberal arts education is all about. And we should all remind ourselves of that and practice that each and every day. Indeed, if we keep these tenets in mind together, we as a Dickinson community can and will learn a great deal and make an impact on this campus and the world beyond. By the time you finish your education here, you will have acquired a foundation for a lifetime of learning. Indeed, when I was asked years ago to give the commencement address to Dickinson's class of 2006, the theme of my remarks was never stop learning. Dickinson College is not and never was about rote memorization. When you reach my station in life, you may in fact remember only a few details of your classes. But what you will retain is the ability to think critically, to develop a worldview, to always be intellectually curious, to have eclectic tastes in literature, music, and the arts, and to be leaders in your endeavors. You, our newest Dickinsonians, will never stop learning. And one last word of advice. Get out of those dorm rooms. Get out of your comfort zones. Walk this lovely campus. Explore the beautiful and historic town of Carlisle. Attend the various events that are held daily, whether in the arts, music, athletics, lectures, or simply the occasions that will allow you to gather with fellow students and to have fun. And on that note, please be safe in all you do, but enjoy yourselves. I mean that very sincerely. These will be years like no others in your lives. And therefore, I will tell you now that they will pass very, very quickly. You're going to experience some stress, all college students do, but make the time to enjoy the privilege of attending a world-class, exemplary, residential liberal arts college. While, of course, we want you to succeed academically, we also want you to have fun. Today, we are all Dickinsonians. Now the journey begins. I am excited for all of you. Welcome to Dickinson. Each year, I have the privilege and the responsibility as the president of the college to officially signify the opening of the academic year with the ringing of the bell. And sometimes we have guest bell ringers. It's one of my privileges is I get to pick the guest bell ringer if I decide that I don't want to ring it myself. This year, my guest bell ringer, they never know who they are, by the way. It's a surprise. In honor of bringing this fantastic class of 2028 to us, I am going to ask Molly Bogle to be the bell ringer. Molly, it's all yours. Job well done. Now, don't screw this up, Molly. All right. Nicely done. Considering you didn't know I was going to do that. I would like to ask Karis Jace Mayoral, class of 2025, to come to the podium and lead us in the singing of the alma mater. Students, you have it. You probably haven't committed this to memory. It's in your program, and we encourage you to sing along with Karis. You can be seated. Thank you, Karis. To conclude our ceremony, I now invite all new students, first years, transfers, any students who were unable to do so previously, to participate in the treasured tradition of signing in to the college. By walking up these historic stone steps and signing the ledger papers in Memorial Hall, you officially become Dickinsonians. Several years from now, you'll reverse this path when you walk down the old stone steps at graduation. I know that the seniors sitting here today are thinking about the fact that in just 9 short months, they will be taking, way to go, seniors. 9 short months, they'll be taking the walk back down these steps. So new students, please follow the directions of the marshals as they guide you into Memorial Hall. I look forward to greeting all of you, and I look forward to our year ahead together. Thank you all. That concludes our ceremony, other than the signing in portion of the ceremony as we finish today's festivities. Thank you so much for coming.
remember thinking it was going to be so cool, like a big doesn't really explain it.